What's up guys? Today we are going to go over a poll blog that was released today. So the video I made a couple weeks back about how to prepare for the Kerbal Lowlands, there were some people asking me where I got my information, how I got it so early. I got it from a blog sort of like this. So Jagex almost always with Old School releases blogs that say what they're going to do because every update that comes into Old School is voted on. So they like to put out blogs, let people read them, get feedback, see if they need to tweak it at all, and let everyone know what their plans are. So it's really not hard to find out information about future updates beforehand. And I don't see too many people making videos that go into the details of these blogs. I'm going to try and do that more often, try and go through each blog that they release and comb through it and just talk about kind of what it's talking about so you don't have to read it if you don't want to. You can just be playing Scape and listening to me while I kind of go over it and offer some of my opinions on some of the stuff that they're proposing. So this video is as of January 28th, 2019. So they may very well release some more information in the future or some tweaks to this, but for now, so yeah, the information in this video is from that date. And usually stuff doesn't change too much. So this is called the Song of the Elves poll blog number 1, and the purpose of it is to let you know about what to expect from the second major update of Old School. I think they usually try and aim for the second major update to be around the beginning of summer, so that's probably when this is going to be aimed to be released. So they say they're going to do 2 polls for the update, for this update overall. This poll I'm going to go over right now is the first one they've released, and it's going to be the first poll, and the second one will be released later on in the future. So everything in this video pertains to the first poll. So this is going to be the final quest in the Elf quest series. So that includes Morning's End Part 2. You start the quest line by doing like Plague City and Biohazard and Underground Pass, all of those quests. And the quest is called Song of the Elves. It's a Grandmaster quest. So with this quest comes a whole new area, the big arena-like fenced-off area in the Elf area that I'm sure pretty much everyone that's been over there knows about. That is going to be filled in. There's going to be a bunch of shops, a bunch of resources, a bunch of things to do inside there. Only the big things are going to be pulled, so most of the shops and stuff are just going to be grouped into some of the other questions. And the city seems like it's going to be skilling focused, which is both, in my opinion, a good thing and a bad thing. It depends on how Jagex do it, because a lot of people see skilling updates. The purpose of them is to make skilling easier. Skilling, in my opinion, definitely does not need to be made easier. More enjoyable, sure. More profitable, sure. Does not need to be made quicker, nor more AFK. So I would love to see skilling updates if they're done properly, you know, make a skill a profitable way to train a skill, or make it more enjoyable somehow without actually making the XP rates better or more AFK. That seems to almost never happen though, so that's kind of why I am a little worried about this update. So the city is called Prividinis. Some of the questions that are going to be asked in the poll: should a new player-owned house portal be added to the city? It's going to require 70 construction and 50,000 coins to move it there, along with, of course, completion of the quest. Another question is, if added to the game, should it include some teak and mahogany trees? There would be 3 teak and 2 mahogany. The next question is, should it include a new sawmill? The sawmill would be further away from the bank than the one in the woodcutting guild. However, if the above question passes, it would be the closest sawmill to teak and mahogany trees. Next, should a new herb patch be added to the area? It would require completion of the quest, of course, and 70 farming. Next, should it include new soft clay rocks? So these rocks, when you mine them, would give you soft clay rather than normal clay. And if you're wearing a sapphire bracelet, which when enchanted is called a bracelet of clay, normally that makes it so that the clay that you mine is just automatically a soft clay when you mine it. If you wear that here on these rocks, it would actually give you 2 clay instead of just 1. 2 soft clay. It would require Song with the Elves and 70 mining. So those are the small questions that are going to be pulled. They're big enough to be pulled, but they're kind of the smaller updates. Now we're going to get into the bigger updates. So the first one is the Gauntlet. So this sounds like a really cool idea to me. So if done properly, I think this could be very good and one of the coolest updates that Old School has had. So with the Gauntlet, you have to enter with no items. When you enter, you will be given a limited amount of time to go and collect resources, mine rocks, chop trees, whatever sort of resources they put in there. So it will contain mineable crystals to make armor and weapons, choppable roots for bows, arrows, and staffs, farmable herbs for making potions, and fishing spots for gathering food. So various resources will require a specific skill level to gather. High skill levels will grant more resources at a faster rate. The dungeon will also contain various crystalline monsters which can be killed for further supplies. So it's going to be random every time you go in, randomly generated. So the resources are going to be in different spots, monsters are going to be in different spots, all that sort of stuff. Also, when you go in, when you enter it, you won't be able to see the entire dungeon. You're going to have to explore the dungeon to find different resources and stuff. So this is sounding really interesting to me. Kind of like Dungeoneering, maybe not exactly, because I don't think you're gonna have to go into different rooms and stuff. It sounds like it's going to be a big open area, maybe, but kind of the same idea as Dungeoneering. And this is solo, so you can't do it with a party. I could see maybe them changing that if they get enough feedback asking for that, but I imagine that's going to make it a lot harder to develop when they have to balance it around teams instead of just a solo player. So once your time is up to gather resources, you're going to be forced into the central chamber. And then you're going to use everything that you gathered to defeat a boss. Once you complete it, you will get access to a generous new drop table. If you fail because you die or because you leave early, you'll get a small reward based on how much you completed, but you won't have any chance at a unique drop. And this is a dangerous minigame, so if you are a hardcore Iron Man and you die inside, game over. And since you can't take anything in, that means no teleports to bring inside, so you better not get yourself into a bad situation. So I really hope that they make higher skills really scale up how much you get. We've had a few bosses where skills can help out, such as Chamber of Xerix. If you have higher skills, it can help you a little bit, but once again, it's only a little bit. We don't really have any bosses where high skills help you defeat the boss a lot. I think it'd be really good for the game if we had some more areas that made skills more valuable, give you more reason to train them up, give them more use outside of their little portion of the game that they currently help out with. So the new unique rewards off of the Gauntlet is going to be a new crystal armor set. It's going to require 70 defense and 50 agility. There's going to be a helmet, plate body, and plate legs. And you won't actually get the armor pieces as drops. Instead, you will get a armor seed, which you can then combine with crystal shards to create the armor pieces. The armor seed is tradable. The crystal shards are not tradable. So the seed, I am assuming you get off of the Gauntlet. The shards, on the other hand, you can get off of the Gauntlet, but you can also get them from doing other activities inside of Prifidinus. In order to combine the shards with the seed, you need a smithing level. Here's the table for how many shards you need for each armor piece, along with the smithing level requirement. If you don't have the smithing level requirement, you can pay someone to do it for you in the city, an NPC. They will charge you extra shard pieces in order to do it for you. There's also a crafting level requirement along with the smithing level requirement. So the armor, like other crystal equipment, will degrade as you use it, but the stats will not degrade. So they will degrade back into a armor seed after 2,500 hits are taken. So there will be an armor set effect if you're wearing all three pieces. Here is the table for the stats of the armor. And then the special effect is you will have a 5% boost to damage and 15% boost to accuracy when using crystal weapons. Now maybe my memory is failing me right now, but the only weapons I can think of are the crystal Halley and the crystal bow. The bow is pretty bad and the Halley is good for a spec, but is outmatched by other weapons that we have. So I really don't see how this armor is going to be very useful. As far as the stats, there is some pretty dang good range defense, and it doesn't have any negative mage or range bonuses like a lot of armor does. And there's also a prayer bonus. So if you kind of want a tanky armor set that doesn't give you any negatives, I guess I can see it being useful in that situation. Nothing's coming to mind where I would really want to use this armor though. Like there might be a few niche spots I'm not thinking of right now where it could be pretty good, but overall I think most bosses this isn't going to really affect, because most bosses you want the DPS increase that other armor gives you. Even with the bonus to damage that this armor set gives you when using a crystal bow, I think crystal bow is still going to be very underpowered at most places. So right now this armor set is not looking that good to me. Maybe you guys can comment down below in the comments if you have a different opinion, or you know of some place this armor set is going to be really good for, because personally I'm just not really seeing it right now. It is going to be degradable as well, so you're going to have to go to the city and get shards and recharge it using the untradeable shards. So there's going to be an upkeep cost that's going to take time. You can't just buy the stuff. So overall, this armor isn't looking that great to me. So the next big part of this update is Zalcano, and it's some demon that's in service of Zamorak that was trapped down beneath the city or something, and you have to help keep her or him in check. And this is actually one of the updates I'm looking forward to the most. So this update overall is just sounding really good to me. Potentially, if they do it correctly, the Gauntlet sounds amazing, and this update sounds really good. I've been asking for a skilling boss for a long time that's actually a skilling boss, not Wintertodt, and this sounds like that. So Zalcano is a new boss that is immune to traditional combat damage. Instead, you will need to use your mining, smithing, and runecrafting skills to create magical charges capable of destroying her stone armor. Once her armor has been destroyed, you'll be able to damage her by mining her core with your pickaxe. While you do this, she will do everything she can to fight back and will have a variety of abilities at her disposal. You will find that higher levels in mining, smithing, and runecrafting will be advantageous. Please don't make this a boss where you can go in with 50 in those stats and do fine, and then if you're 99 you get a little bit of a boost. Please make it like a real boss, you know, you don't go into Bandos with 50 attack, strength, and defense and do decently. Hopefully you like to do it efficiently, you need like 90 plus and all the skills, but I guess we'll see. Once again, these updates could be great if they do it correctly. If not, meh. So Zalcano's attacks will not scale to your HP level like Wintertodt does, so this is more like a traditional boss. This is kind of what I've asked for a while now. It's an actual boss that you just use your skills to defeat. So you'll be able to fight Zalcano in both a team and solo. So when you defeat Zalcano, the main reward is going to be some new drops. You'll get a little bit of mining, smithing, and runecrafting experience. But it sounds like they're going a good route this time. They're not going to make this a new best training method. You know, what you want to do this for is to profit using your skills, not to go and train them doing a AFK mini game like Wintertodt. So from this blog, this is sounding really, really interesting. So kind of like with the Gauntlet, they had the crystal armor seeds. When you defeat this Zalcano, you will be able to get a crystal equipment seed. So once again, just like the armor pieces or the armor seeds, with the equipment seeds, you're going to combine those with crystal shards that you get from this boss, that you can get from the Gauntlet, and then you get from other activities around Prifidinus. When you combine the shards with the equipment seed, you can make either a crystal pickaxe, a crystal axe, or a crystal harpoon. Along with the shards and the equipment seed, you will also have to use the corresponding dragon piece. So to make a crystal pickaxe, you would need a dragon pickaxe, equipment seed, and crystal shards. And it will require 76 smithing and 76 crafting to make it yourself. Then in order to use the equipment, you're going to need level 71 in the respective skill. They will also require 70 attack and 50 agility to equip. And they will have the same stats and special attack as the dragon counterparts. So it will degrade after 10,000 uses, with each item gathered counting as one charge. And when it runs out of charges, you're going to get your dragon piece back and you're going to get the equipment seed back. So what you're losing is the crystal shards. So how much better are these new equipments going to be? So currently the dragon pickaxe has a 1 in 6 chance of mining a rock 1 tick faster than the rune pickaxe. And the new crystal pickaxe will have a 1 in 4 chance of mining a rock a tick faster than a rune pickaxe. So the crystal axe is going to be 15% more efficient than the rune axe. The dragon axe was 10% more efficient, so just a small buff there. And then the crystal harpoon will have a 35% faster catch rate when fishing at harpoon fishing spots. The dragon harpoon was 20%, so this is going to be, once again, a little bit of a bump up from there. So I thought it'd be fun to go and look at people's reactions to this dev blog over on Reddit. They have a thread up with hundreds of comments, so it looks like this one, 342 upvotes. The Gauntlet sounds great. I want my Dungeoneering fix. Skilling boss is really interesting. Solo Dungeoneering sounds fun. So I guess a lot of other people are kind of seeing the similarity to Dungeoneering as I did, and it looks like it's getting a lot of positive feedback. I'm really excited for this update as well. Hopefully it goes well. Farming is actually a full-time thing now. I guess they are talking about the new herb patch. That is true. There's a lot of herb patches right now, and they're going to add another one. Another really high upvoted comment, 139 points, it's Frickit. If Zalcano ends up being well received, I sure hope other skilling bosses get added to the game eventually. It'd be great for skilling bosses to feel like actual bosses, since Wintertodt feels like a semi-AFK minigame. Exactly how I feel, which is nice to see that it's getting upvoted, because that's kind of the same idea that I have. Hopefully we get a nice boss that uses skills. Please, please, please offer a meaningful buff to Crystal Bow. It's completely decimated by Blowpipe. True, even with his armor set, Crystal Bow I don't think is going to be very useful. Still completely outclassed by T-Bow and the Blowpipe. I haven't actually put it into the DPS calc, so I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure, I feel pretty confident saying that. Giving a real reason to actually train the skills everyone hates, I like it. Bro, runecrafting is awesome, what are you talking about? What I don't understand, you need mining, woodcutting, and runecrafting to defeat Zalcano, which I forgot to mention earlier, but I don't see the equipment being that valuable. So I would like to see some really good resource drops off the skilling boss. Like if there is a boss that's going to drop resources, this should be that boss because you're actually using skilling to defeat it. So in my opinion, this should dwarf any other boss when it comes to resource drops. Yeah, so a lot of this is positive. That's good to see. Hopefully they do this update. Hopefully this update goes well. That's pretty much it for this video. Like if you enjoyed. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.